Maybe just a bit of housekeeping to start with then after the weekend. Any fresh bumps from Leinster?
No, nothing from the game. So everyone's okay after the game. Johnny, obviously first game back for us, was all good. Who else was picking back? No, everyone was right. We didn't lucky really on the injury front really.
How's Tane? What's the verdict?
Yeah, so he's struggling a bit with the shoulder. So he's touch and go obviously for this week again. But I think long term he probably need something doing to the shoulder, but I don't know to the extent yet. But we're waiting obviously on specialist opinion, etc. Waiting on another scan this week, so I'll update you more either next week or see where we are at the end of this week really.
Fine. What are your reflections a few days after?
Yeah, there's certain parts of the game where I thought we were competitive. Like they started like a train, and I don't think the yellow card helped us early. Obviously put us on the back foot straight away. And then that middle sort of 40-50 minutes, there wasn't much in the game, you know, and I think we had opportunities, we didn't take opportunities. And then the last 20 sort of hurt us, I think, you know, in terms of obviously the scoreboard hurt us, but bit of my fault obviously. Always like almost chase tries then a bit at the end, and I think we kept the ball a bit when in our half where perhaps we, you know, turned the pressure back on Leinster, which we'd done in the first in that sort of middle period, you know, and the boys started chasing the game a bit, and then with a team like Leinster it feeds into their hands. I suppose reflections for me, I thought there was some good performances really for some of the boys. I think, you know, like so young back row were good. I thought Carwyn's numbers were high. You know, he got on the ball a lot, which is something that we've demanded of him over the last while, because I don't think he was getting on the ball as much as he could have. And, you know, the challenge for someone like Kaz now is the next step of, you know, constant effectiveness really. You know, the numbers he was sort of pumping out is similar to what Sione was giving us really last year. You know, the thing for Carwyn is he needs to, you know, get better at that constant intent, and he's getting there, he's working hard. So look, I think that was a bonus. I thought Teddy Leatherbarrow again was effective. You know, he went hard for us, and so as did Ben really at 6. You know, so I was really pleased with the output of those guys. You know, they've got, you know, great back row to play against on the weekend. Obviously quality, British Lion quality, you know, Irish international team quality. So it was a massive step up for them. But what I think we took from the game is like level of consistency for 80 minutes, and I think that, you know, Leinster had that. I think their work off the ball is something really good. You know, something special really. Their ability to get up off the floor and get it back into position quickly on both attack and defence is probably something that we need to get to, and something we keep striving for. You know, and I think that seeing those pictures is important. And I think, you know, from a contact area as well, you know, I think we were second best in the contact area, and, you know, that's just intent and also, you know, their quality side, you know, and I think that physicality and intent in that area is something that you know, we probably came up second best. But for large periods of the game we were competitive, and we could have you know, gone 19-12 easily enough with a couple of opportunities that we created. So yeah, I think the score was obviously a real disappointment, but there were elements of the game which I was pleased with.
In your first 5 games, you've had 3 of the most difficult away trips that you'll have. They've both sort of 50 points. How do you keep the morale up, given that, as you said, there were elements of that performance you think that was quite good?
I think morale is something that, you know, for us it's about next job, and you know, we have 2 derby games now, which is exciting for us. You know, and those games are, you know, that they are the toughest games, as you said. You know, so, you know, it's about learning from that and moving on. You know, I think naturally a derby game produces that sort of intent and intensity. I think that, you know, we gave some guys opportunities last week, so some guys will come back into the team, which again brings energy. And, you know, it's up to our senior players to drive that, us as staff, and us them as senior players to drive that energy. And I think, you know, from a morale perspective, when we look at pictures, especially over the last 2 weeks, I think the honest truth is that in the Bulls and the Storm, I was disappointed because we were nowhere near it. we're in the fight, you know. And I think that last week we were in the fight, and the Lions game is obviously the big disappointment, really, more than the other three for me, in all honesty, because I think that it's a game we should have won and a game we needed to win in terms of points on the table. And but that, you know, that adds now to the next couple of weeks. We know we got a big couple of weeks ahead.
Survive for Gareth Davis and you and Lloyd, they're the sort of people who are back in contention. The Ospreys then, local derby in Swansea. Do you think it still means as much as it does the last 20 years as when you were playing early in that regional rugby? Yeah,
look, I loved it as a player, and I think the players, you know, obviously, first thing you speak about is obviously the rivalry, etc. And you look back at the past games. You know, we haven't won in Swansea for a while, you know, so that's a big challenge for us. And I think that, you know, last year we were competitive and flew away, and then the year before was probably a real disappointment for a lot of our boys because we were way ahead at half time and let it slip. So I think there's a lot at stake this week, you know, and I think that you know, we're looking forward to that challenge of going there. You know it's going to be a tough game, and you know, a credit to what the Ospreys are. I think, you know, they're a tough team to beat, and you know, their forward pack in particular is very competitive and very has the ability to really stay in games and to be real abrasive, is the truth. You know, I think you look at their victories last year, winning Montpellier, winning Leicester. Those performances for me were like, you know, a bit of grit, and they really showed what they're about in that area. So that's the challenge that they bring. You know, I think that, you know, they've always been a combative side, so like that's a challenge we have to rise to, you know. And I think that, you know, we have our own style, they have their style, so it'll be good. You know, derbies tend to throw up different emotions, different styles of plays, but you know, we're under no illusion to go there and win. We're going to have to be very good.
No Tipperick, no James Ratty, but the back row, I suppose, is one area they've got quite a bit of depth.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. They have, undoubtedly. You know, and I think that Morris and Jack Morgan at 7, 6, wherever he wants to play, you know, they're both stand-up players for them. In all honesty, I think that you know, Jack's been outstanding, and I think that, you know, he was obviously very well known here, but I think his game's getting better and better. He's obviously got leadership qualities, and I think Morris at 8 is probably, you know, is an outstanding rugby player. I think that you know, again, he's one that is like a glue for their team, you know. And I think you know, like, you know, for them, I'm sure, like, he's one type of player that, you know, so when you play with him, you realise how good he is and what he gives the team. And I think that's you know, so them two together are good. Good team, obviously, good duo, obviously there. But we have 5 feet as well, who's not bad himself, you know. And Carowin's obviously getting better every game. You know, like Dan Davis, like Terry Leatherbarrow, these type of players for us, you know, they'll be up for the challenge as well. So looking forward to that.
Dan Davis close to coming back?
Yeah.
Okay. Without giving away exactly where, you will know this on the other side now. You live deep in Ospreys territory. Going when it's the Llanelli derby, when you pop to the shop or pop to the thing, the people remind you sort of. Do you get a little bit more perhaps in this sort of week?
No, not too bad down there. You know, to be honest with you, it was more west when I go back. I'll go back to West Wales tomorrow just to make sure I'm keeping in touch with everyone. Staying true to my roots. Back in the Gwendra Valley tomorrow, definitely. But. No, look, I think that it's great, isn't it? You know, I think that you know, there's guys on either side who support the opposite regions, and I think that, you know, always means a lot to our supporters. You know, back from the days where we was Neath and Swansea, and we were challenging. Now it's Ospreys, obviously. So, look, it's a big day in the calendar, and you know, it's funny because he got them close together. All our Welsh derbies seem to be close together, really. You know, Cardiff next week as well. I'm playing Cardiff a couple of weeks back, so, you know, you can really, you know, for the chance to be the best Welsh region, you can really steal a march really in these next couple of weeks, and that's what we want to be.
Thank you.
Wedi Sul, ydy fe dal gwahanol fel oedd e o blaen?
Mae di fi teibio, i ni fel chwaraewyr, mae fe'n wastad yn gêm bwysig, a a bod y dorf hefyd. Chybod o'r dyddiau pryd o'n ni'n ware, oedd e wastad y gêm cyntaf chi'n edrych am, a sy'n credu bod lot wedi newid nawr, chybod, mae fe'n enfawr, a edrych mlaen o'r boes nes i ware. Mae'n gêm bwysig yn amlwg, gallwn ni golled wrth ysdwetha, felly mae'n bwysig bod ni'n mynd nôl a brwydro'n galed am buddigoliaeth wrthos hyn.
A beth chi'n disgwyl o'r gwyll?
Maen nhw'n tîm israddol o dda, maen nhw'n tîm sy'n dda yn y pac, a mae cryfder gyda nhw'n y pac, a ni'n gwybod ni, felly bwysig bod ni'n codi'r sialens yna, a neud siŵr bod ni'n barod, a ni'n edrych mlaen chymod i weld os gallwn ni amdopio hwnna. Mae'n cwbl o anafiadau gyda ni, felly mae'n cyfle i roi boes ifanc i rili sefyll lan ar o'r penwythnos a neud gorau am y Cris.
Ydych chi'n disgwyl rai chwaraewyr nôl?
Dim ond o boes oedd yn eisiau wrth ysdwetha, really. Chybod pobl fel Gareth, Iwan, Fai, Ryan Laias yn amlwg, Steph Evans, Joe Roberts ag ati, bydden nhw nôl yn...
Beth am Tein a...
Mae Dan Davies gobeithio mynd nhw'n iawn. Mae Tein 50-50, really.
Salos i?
Na, bydd e ddim nhw.